Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we have a beautiful McLaren Artura with us. Special thanks to Gearbox McLaren for us to test drive this. It's amazing. It's probably the first supercar. Would you call this supercar that we test drive?
Definitely
and
a
review?
supercar.
Yeah,
definitely.
So Luan, would you like to run through some of the stats?
Yeah, so this is McLaren's brand new model. It's the first hybrid mass market car that they've made as well. Also the first V6. So it has a 3-litre V6 twin turbo, and it's got around 670 horsepower. That includes the hybrid system, and also 720 newton meters of torque. So it's got a lot of power, a lot of torque. It can do 31 kilometers under the hybrid system, just with electric only. So that's actually really impressive for a car of this size to be able to give you that much electric range.
And it's quite light too, right?
Yeah, about 1,500 kilos. So it'll be really interesting to test drive this car, figure out how it's different from the cars that we've driven, like our Lotuses, and see what the pros and cons of having a car like this would be. So if you're interested in this McLaren, then stay tuned and we'll find out how it is.
So in comfort mode, inside the car is very quiet and it's a very nice cabin to be in. The quality is great. There's not much wind noise or tire roar. It's a very good cruiser if you want to use this as a cruiser. And if you turn on to, say, sport mode or track mode and give it the beans, it will happily do so. It's a car that has a lot of facets, can be really comfortable, very fuel efficient if you want it to be, but can be very exciting and very quick if you want it to be as well. So right now we're in sport mode, pinning it, or going through a corner. Wow, the power delivery is amazing. And the front end of the car feels really agile, very quick. The turn-in sensation is amazing. It's a mid-engine car, so it has a very good inherent physical ability because the engine is right in the middle, also the battery as well. You feel like the whole car is pivoting around the center of the car, which is a really nice feeling. Use the pedals. Let's go to manual mode and put it in track mode, and suspension in sport. Right now we're in 3rd gear, full throttle. Wow, very good acceleration, and the brakes are really good too. The brakes are really strong and gives you a lot of confidence. The travel is actually not very long, but you do have to press it hard for it to bite. The pedal shifters, they feel really nice in your hands. They are made out of carbon fiber, looks great too. But it's just the upshift seems a little bit laggy, but the downshift is really, really quick. 3, 3rd gear. Nice response. 4th gear, 5th gear. Yeah, the upshift is a little bit delayed, but still pretty quick. Just not as quick as the downshift. Say 5th gear, 4, 3, 2. I think for road driving, setting it at sport suspension is perfect. With the driving mode set to track and suspension set to sport, I think this is the best setup. You get really nice throttle response, really quick response from the engine with the track mode on, but you also get a good, comfortable and supple suspension, but yet it still feels quite sporty, more sporty than comfort. So I think this is the best setup for road driving for this car. And with this engine, with this powertrain, to get the most power out of it, you really have to build up the revs. It's quite interesting, like 3rd gear, 5,000 RPM, If I step on it, if I only give it half throttle, you don't feel the surge. You really have to press down the pedal, the gas pedal, to feel the surge. It's quite an interesting setup. I think McLaren really wants you to use all the revs to get the excitement out of the car. So let's quickly look at the exterior of the Artura. Love the number plate, huh?
Very nice. They must have got in early.
Very nice front end. Very distinctive of the McLaren design currently. Like the headlights. The L shape of the McLaren signature. We've got a couple of radiators right here. It's quite interesting. These radiators are very big. They are square. They sit inside, but this shape is cut out to let air in. You can see from here, that's the actual shape of the square looking radiator right inside there. So yeah, everything's functional, obviously. We've got an air channel right here in the front camera. This car is equipped with 360-degree camera, so that's really good. With this type of vehicle, when you're parking, it's usually really hard to see what's around you. So with the 360 camera, that really helps with the parking.
This shape, there's actually a reason that there's a shape like this here, and that harks back to the roots of McLaren, which is from Bruce McLaren, who was a New Zealander. So this shape actually represents a stylized Kiwi. Same as the McLaren logo, it's actually a stylized Kiwi.
Ah.
Yeah, so a little bit of a New Zealand connection
Yeah,
there.
very good pointer. And it's got these fins to direct air out from the wheel arches. The wheels, they are P0s. They are a staggered setup, so it's 19 in the front and 20 at the rear. I love the side door of all the McLarens. It's touch sensitive. You touch that, you lift it up, and it's very easy to get in and out as well. The sill is actually not very wide, it's not very high. So compared to our Exiges, this is much easier to use daily. You can get in like this, very easy.
I think the big difference as well is that the sill lowers down here where your feet would go, and then it increases in height the further back you go. So that means that it's a lot easier to get your feet into the car.
But you're right, like this side is actually lower, so easier for your feet to get out, your leg to get out, like so.
It's got a huge opening as well for a supercar because of the scissor doors. And so this is a huge benefit if you're trying to get in and out of tight spaces. So this is a car that's been really well designed for using pretty much on a daily basis.
Right. Let's close that. A nice, large, big air intake right on the side. This intake is interesting. It's split into two sections. One is for the radiator. The other one, I believe, is probably for the intake for the engine. So this is nice. You can actually see the engine right here. So it's a V6 engine. It's got a 120-degree angle, and the turbo sits right in between this angle. And you can see over here, there's a chimney right here. That's just for allowing hot air from the turbo to get out. So it's not actually exhaust, but it's almost like a chimney effect to allow hot air to get out from the engine and from the turbo. So the actual exhausts are here actually. These are very cool actually, very supercar looking. It sits higher rather than having them down low. And down here we have functional diffusers. They are gloss black plastic diffusers. And look at this huge opening right here.
That's really cool.
That's just to allow all the hot air and all the air coming underneath the car to all get out nicely, to flow nicely out from the car.
All right, getting into the Artura. It's quite an easy
Did you hit your head on
process.
the door?
No, don't hit my head on anything. It's great. It's very easy actually. You just kind of drop into the car, and the feet, like I said before, the feet get in really easily as well. The first thing that you're greeted with is this lovely looking steering wheel. I really like the way that you can mold it to your hands. It's a really good design, and it feels really comfy as well. It's not too thick, not too thin, and it looks great because it's got some carbon fiber. It's got the big McLaren logo, and you get treated to this awesome integrated dash. Apparently this dash is the same technology that they use in the Alva, so it actually moves in and out with the steering wheel. So for example, if I want to move the steering wheel more back or more up, then the dash actually comes with it. So I think that's a really cool feature because the dash is really important in these cars. The other really amazing thing are these carbon fiber paddles. So you can really see the pedals, you can feel them, they're really close to your hand, and yeah, they make a really nice
clicking sound.
Yeah, and the only buttons you get in the middle are just the on and off for the engine, the drive button, the neutral button, the park button, and the hazard indicator. That's actually quite different to the way that normal cars are set up these days. So I feel like that's a huge differentiator with McLaren, is that they're really focused on the driver. Everything's within, you know, your fingertips. You don't have to move your hands around the steering wheel very much, which is good.
We've got a cup holder right here.
Yes, very important, a cup holder. There's another one there as well. Look, there's 2 cup holders.
Oh wow, I didn't see that.
It's incredible.
Very cool. There's a plug here.
Oh yeah?
It says Surrey, England.
Okay,
nice.
And then we have a little cubby hole in the middle here, which is quite handy.
Chargers.
Yep, again USB-C, USB-A, and also a cigarette socket.
Yep.
Now I'm feeling really good about my Lotus because it has exactly the same cigarette socket as my Lotus. So there you have it.
The green light, huh?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So don't buy a McLaren, buy a Lotus. No, I'm just kidding.
No glove compartment though.
Yes.
No glove box.
Yes.
I like these vents though. They look
look
very
really
futuristic,
good.
right?
Yeah.
And this horizontal vent right here goes all the way across.
Yep.
There's a big pocket here on your door. Also, I love this shape. It kind of ties back to the front of the car as well.
Yeah.
This curved shape of the headlights.
Yep. Well, the thing I like about these seats is that they've made them fairly comfortable, but they're still single piece seats. So that means they're a lot stiffer and they're probably a lot lighter.
So thin. Look at how thin this
than
is.
seats that can recline. Yeah. Oh.
There's a little bit of storage at the back.
Yeah, you have a little shelf at the back there. That's not too bad. Actually, I don't think you can store stuff there, Frank, because there's an icon here saying no luggage.
Ah.
Yeah, so I don't know what you can do there.
Who is stopping you though? So this is on top of the battery.
Yeah, I think so.
So these this is the space for the battery, right?
Yeah, what's great about the interior is that everything feels like it's all connected and it's all integrated, including the screen here. The screen is actually in a really good position. It's not going to block your view, and it's just big enough so that you can see everything that's going on. You can, obviously play around with the settings. You can play around with the climate control, navigation, all of that sort of stuff. It's all available in front of you. Okay, awesome. So let's go through the dash really quick. So on the left-hand side, you can see currently I've got it in navigation mode. You can use the stalk down at the bottom of the steering wheel on the left-hand side, and that enables you to scroll through all the different modes on the side of the display there. And then we've got some settings. Yep, so every single screen I think has its own settings. So what you do is you pull the stalk up towards you in order to access the settings page. Okay, so to start off with in electric mode, all you get is just a power bar to show you how much electricity and how much power you're using from the electric motor. And then if you go into comfort mode, you'll see there's a bit more of a tachometer, like you would have in a normal car. You have the speed in the middle, and then also your gear right there as well, which is quite handy to be able to see. If you go into sport mode,
yep, the engine fires up. We go to sport.
Gave me a bit of a fright there.
Give you a startle.
Okay, and you can see it gives you more revs and probably a few other bits and pieces, and gives you more power. And then if you go into track mode, then the display changes again, and you can see that the rev meter goes right at the top, because that's really important when you're driving on track. And also you see the gear in the middle here, and also the speed at the bottom, which is a little bit different to all the other modes.
Right, so this is for controlling your chassis, basically your suspension. So right now it's in comfort, you can go to sport, you can go to track. The amazing thing about this car is the suspension, it's actually a lot of difference between all these modes. in comfort, it's really, really supple. And once you turn into track, it becomes really stiff. Basically the best of both worlds. You can daily this with comfort, and you know, on the track obviously you want it to be stiff for better handling. So on the right hand side, this is for mode selecting. You can select by pressing this up and down. So right now go back to sport, go back to comfort, and then this button here is for manual. So basically when you push this, you have to control your gears manually. So so when you are in auto, this is there's an A here. When you press manual, okay, the engine's not on, so you can't see it. But that's the manual button right here. And this is the ESC off button, which, you know, you don't have to treat this with caution, I guess.
Bit of respect, yep.
So once you turn it on, it's automatically in electric mode. So if we push drive now,
we're moving.
So quiet.
So quiet.
So it's in electric mode. Wow, very quiet.
Space age.
Very comfy.
Yes. It's a hybrid car, so that's why we've got the electric mode.
That's right.
31 kilometers of range under electric power only, which is pretty impressive for a car of this size. And we've been told it's about 1,500 kilos, so it's actually not very heavy for a hybrid or electric car either, which is quite nice.
Okay, if you brake, it starts charging.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Well, that's actually pretty fast under electric mode. It's faster than I expected.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, it's actually able to do quite a lot of speed just under electric mode.
Yeah.
Alright, so in comfort mode, the car actually feels really good. It feels really compliant. It soaks up all the bumps in the road really well.
Yeah.
It just feels like any normal car. You've got great visibility all around. You've got a great windscreen, which is quite low down as well. So you're able to see everything around you. And it doesn't feel too difficult to drive at all.
It's also quite roomy too. See how much headroom I have?
Yeah.
The whole car feels quite airy and comfortable. Lots of light coming in. Great visibility.
You could definitely daily this car, especially with the hydraulic lift system.
Yeah.
If you do encounter any driveways or any speed bumps, you can just use that.
Okay, let's put the lift on. Takes about 10 seconds.
It actually does it pretty quick.
Oh, now it's done.
But yeah, you can definitely drive this around just like an everyday car.
Yeah,
you know?
it's very comfy.
It's pretty comfy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make too much noise. And because you have the electric mode, you can crawl around in electric mode if you want.
Yeah.
And not wake up your neighbours and have angry people screaming at you for starting your car at 7 AM.
Yeah. But that's not what you're buying this car for, though.
No. Yeah. But it's nice having some of those features too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the viewers are getting a bit bored.
That's all good. I'm just trying to fill in some time until we get to the motorway.
How do you feel? How do you feel that?
Holy shit, that's some pretty serious thrust. Wow.
That was good, huh?
Yeah.
In track mode, if you really give it the beans, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's got so much torque.
Yeah.
720 pushing a 1.5 ton car.
Yep.
Just plenty enough. It's a really fast car, I have to say. Right now we're in track for the suspension. It's actually quite firm. You can feel all the different bits and pieces on the road, the undulations. It's a lot of feedback, from the suspension in track mode. It's really good.
Yeah.
the character becomes so different from comfort mode.
Yeah,
Even sport,
totally different.
even sport mode, right? It's another notch up in terms of the feel and handling.
Yeah.
How do you find the gear shift? When I was driving it, I think downshift is actually pretty quick, but there's a little bit of lag with the upshift.
Yeah, I can see what you mean now. You know, the downshift is actually instant, but then for some reason the upshift takes a while.
You know,
that is a bit bizarre.
yeah.
But no, this car is amazing, to be honest. Like, if you were wanting a car that you can drive around every day and has supercar looks, has this supercar power, like 671 horsepower, that's a huge amount of power. And the fact that it's got a hybrid system, so it's probably really fuel efficient. You can actually drive it around in electric mode for 30 kilometers. That's a pretty big benefit as well.
Right. And also, I think it's the character of the engine that they want to sort of portray. You really have to build up the revs to get that maximum power and torque feel.
Yeah.
So they actually want you to actually rev the engine up.
Yeah.
So it's less like a typical turbocharged sports car where torque comes in like at really low rev range, which you don't really have to rev the engine up. But with this one, you really do to get the power, to get the excitement, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes you more engaged with the driving experience. The other thing I wanted to say as well was a bit of a surprise for me is the sound that it makes. It actually makes a fantastic sound. It's really similar to like a naturally aspirated V6 sound. You can't really tell that it's turbo in the noise department. So McLaren have done some really amazing things with the V6.
Sound test.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, that was like 7,000 RPM.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
like
good.
Honestly, for a hybrid turbo powertrain,
Yeah.
that's decent. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that. You know, I wouldn't want to do anything to that. And it's so easy. You know, like you just flip a few pedals and then you've got all the power
well,
you
that's
need.
the thing about these modern cars with pedal shifters. It's very easy to drive.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing though about this is you get more performance out of the engine actually because it's so quick.
And you can be in the right gear at the right time.
Exactly, and these are so responsive as well. You just feel you get the best out of the engine.
And I think it matches the powertrain really well.
Yeah.
And you can get this power!
That is so fun. I think in terms of thrust, because the Siege's got like a supercharger. It's very, very instant. The power is always there. Torque is always there. And so light. When you forward, the thrust, the feel of acceleration is pretty amazing already. But I think this is even more.
Absolutely.
This is more torque.
It's got way more torque.
And the weight is, 1,500. It's pretty
not bad.
okay
It's
for
not bad
a
at all.
modern supercar. It's a hybrid too.
Honestly, with this car, if you want to point it straight and you want to go as fast as you possibly can, this is the car,
So I think the benefit of being a hybrid is you get the best of both worlds. You can be very environmental friendly if you want to, just driving in EV mode, electric mode, not consuming any petrol if you are just commuting to work or just down the road getting a milk or something. But then if you want to really enjoy the ICE engine, you can still do that. So that's great about hybrid cars these days, hybrid supercars especially. You get the best of both worlds. It's really good.
Absolutely. And I think the petrol engine is still pretty amazing in this car because it's 585 horsepower just for the petrol engine alone. That's a lot. That's a lot of power for a V6 turbo.
Right.
So even if you just subtract the hybrid system altogether, even if you just forget about it altogether,
that's the 570S.
or the GT.
Or the GT. But it's a V6 though.
This is a V6.
So just to wrap this up, thank you for watching. This is it's been really fun driving this car. Amazing car, I have to say.
Really amazing.
Really amazing. Best of both worlds. You got the fuel efficiency if you want to. Also very exciting. It's got all the acceleration. It's got the handling. Got the looks. Got the ICE engine right at the back. This V6 is pretty amazing. Sounds great. Nice gearbox. It's a great package, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a really amazing package.
Yeah,
it's something that's a lot more usable, and you can take it to a lot more places, and you can drive it a lot more.
Yeah, I was surprised how dailyable this is. It's for its price, for its looks, for its supercar performance.
Yeah,
it's amazing how dailyable this is. You can drive it basically anywhere if you want to, right? Yeah. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like. Hope to see you next time.
Bye, McLaren.
Bye.